Hello, what's poppin', Exiles? Got a new build guide here for you today. Poison Pathfinder, so you can get away from that lightning arrow deadeye that's staring at you in the mirror whenever you press log in. This is a 2-button build, so if you're a 1-button Andy, you could click off now. Thanks for watching the highlight reel. For the clearing part of this build, we are going to be using Gas Arrow and the toads from the Merkshaft Quiver to create chaining, explosions of Bursting Plague, and armor break explosions with the Corrosion armor break tech. And we're going to be using Toxic Growth to consume those armor breaks to do a ton of damage and then create more armor breaks and more explosions. And it just, like, it's so beautiful how just one gas and then one toxic growth just chains so many explosions. It gets even more crazy the bigger the density. Works really well with like Abyss, Breach, Ritual, etc. Especially when they're spawning into the explosions, like they're spawning into the gas, they just explode on spawn. It's nuts. Now, for the bossing portion here, we are using a really powerful poison from Poison Burst and then consuming it with acidic concoction. However, there seems to be a bit of a bug. We are able to use the vine plant there and just spam 5 acidic concoctions with Nova projectiles onto it, and all 5 are detonating and creating like a shotgun effect. I think this is bugged. It will probably get patched. Hopefully not till next league because I'm loving it, but let's get into the full build guide. First things first, we are playing on the Pathfinder Ascendancy. I'll go a bit more in the tree later. First, I want to talk about the gear. So for the bow here, I spent about a div on this bow. That's probably like the only expensive item that really kind of made this build feel good. The damage from it is pretty good here. We got +4 levels all skills, a lot of physical damage, increased attack speed. Don't really care about the critical damage bonus because we're not really doing much with crit. And then this right here was pretty cheap. I got for a few exalts, and you could get it early. It's like a huge damage increase once you hit level 20. 40% of damage is chaos. Big downside though, reduce health and reduce defenses, which is why I went with a full ES energy shield instead of like evasion, because you just die to one-shots a lot if you don't have enough base health. And we can solve the like incoming damage problem without the evasion by using Enfeeble and Blasphemy once you have enough spirit. This build is not really super spirit heavy. I only have 150, so that's not too bad. I just have a little bit on my amulet. I honestly don't even have that good of an amulet. I just have one, like a little bit of spirit, a little bit of energy shield, and some attributes. So, and then the other thing that really makes this build kind of all come together is the Chevron's Satchel, which allows life recovery from flash to apply to energy shield. And because energy shield is basically our life, we kind of need this. And don't really have many ways to scale like energy shield recharge. I do have 50% faster start of energy shield recharge with this, but I don't have any points in the tree for that, and I didn't really have much to spare on that front, so this is huge. There is a belt, Ryslava's Coil, that gives increased maximum physical damage that could increase the top end of your damage a lot with this build, but honestly the damage is good enough, and I prefer the survivability of this, and it was super cheap. Again, you can get this for like, I think it was like 10x or something like that. It was not expensive. All my other stuff's just kind of random gear I've either crafted or found, etc. Just with the resist, you know, smooth and speed, huge. Same here, just attributes, resist. This is a bit of an attribute heavy build because I am using like high level int spells, but with the new like lowering of like requirements, you don't need that much int to be able to run like these like high level spells. Like level 18 Enfeeble is only 137 int. That's not that bad. All right. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for the gear, and then the Merc Shaft Quiver. Again, you can get this really early on. I believe it's like level 40. They have a level 40 version, all the way up to level 84. I noticed a huge increase in damage when I switched to the high level version, because I have a higher level skill that comes with it. It summons these toads on kill, which just helps a lot with clear. You know, you kill a couple enemies, they spawn toads, they poison enemies, it kills more enemies, spawns more toads. It's like a crazy cascade effect. And the stats are not amazing on this. I mean, you can definitely get more damage out of another bow, but like blind is kind of useful, especially if you're playing an evasion version. I'm not, but I mean, it still reduces their chance to hit you, and the extra chance of poison on hit don't really care about. The extra poison duration is pretty good, and then the extra physical will take it, you know. And extra mana on kill doesn't hurt either, because this build can use a lot of mana once you get high skill level gems. And that's pretty much it. We want to have as good of potions as possible because potions are our main source of recovery. So you want to get like increased amount recovered. Increased charges is kind of useful on the mana flask because we are spamming concoctions, which cost mana flasks. It consumes mana flask to throw the acidic concoction. So that's pretty much it on the gear front. Now let's look at the support gems. So for acidic concoction, rapid attacks faster. Nova projectiles, it throws 5 of them, and if you kind of aim it at the ground, and I'll just poison this so you can see what it looks like when it triggers it. That's poisoned, and we're gonna throw these. And if you aim it right at the ground there, all 5 of them hit. And see, like if you aim outwards, they go far away. If you aim at your feet on like a target like this, they all explode here. It's beautiful. You can create a huge nova of like 5 acidic concoctions, and it just nukes the boss. And we don't really care about the less damage, more area effect, less damage, whatever. This one gives a little bit extra damage and faster projectiles. I just kind of like faster the better. We want to get that off before you get killed. We don't care about the less damage because the acidic burst is life loss. It's not scalable in any way other than just getting a bigger poison, a longer poison. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't deal damage. You don't need to armor break them. You don't need anything. It consumes the poison and it deals that damage to them. And these like reductions in damage don't actually do anything. So that's a huge plus. We're shooting 5 of them. It's consuming 5 poisons and creating like a shotgun of just like a ton of damage. Does millions of DPS. It's a little awkward to set up on like rares. Sometimes if it's like a really tough abyssal rare, I'll set it up and do it. Just like quickly put that down, boom, 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 nuke them. Most of the time though, when I'm mapping, just gonna be this combo: gas, boom, gas, boom, trigger a bunch of toads, and it just keeps on going. So that's beautiful. And to get that cascade of explosions, we have gas arrow. And the way it works is you shoot it, and it slowly gains radius per second. And that's gonna just kind of sit there and then allow me to do that. And it poisons the enemies, so it causes armor break based on the corrosion. Then it explodes with this, and they seem to have maybe nerfed this, or I don't know how it was based before, but 30% of default attack damage is not a ton, but when there's so many enemies exploding, it really doesn't matter. And then Bursting Plague does 20% of the enemy's health as physical damage, so that is extra explosion. That's 2 explosions off 1 skill. And then we have Escalating Poisons to add an extra poison of this skill, which is important because we have other skills that are poisoning, and we don't want this to get overwritten. Like Toxic Growth also poisons, and it can overwrite your poison, and then it won't. When they die, it does the highest poison, and that's how Herald of Plague works, and that's also how the Contagious Contamination works. The highest damaging poison on the enemy is spread. So if you want the poison to spread to the next enemy, you don't want this poison, which is your main like explosion, to get overwritten, so that's why I have an extra poison on there. Also, persistent ground helps a lot. It increases the duration of ground surfaces created by the skill, and the duration is good because it adds more radius. So sits there, the extra couple seconds it lasts makes it bigger, and on top of that, it can't be destroyed, which gas arrow, if you don't know, has an explosion component, which is cool. It does a lot of damage when it explodes. So like you put this down, it does the corrosion, it does the armor break, it's a fire explosion. If it ignites, it will blow this up. Or if you have like a rare with an ignited tag, they'll just instantly blow it up. They'll instantly blow this up. That is cool because it does a lot of damage, but it explodes your freaking cloud, and that's annoying. And when you get in like the really juice maps, you'll run into like ignited ground, ignited rares a lot. So you don't really need this till like the end game, but it stops it from being exploded. No matter what happens, like 1,000 enemies could explode in here, the gas will stay. So that I prefer to have. Also, this is just a little bonus. It gives less cooldown recovery. So like enemies that spam crazy abilities, they can't spam them as much. It's basically just like an all-in-one. It's poisoning them, like when it chains with Herald of Plague, it slows them. We have Vine Arrow to slow them. It just chains tons of explosions. And then we shoot our Toxic Growth, which is now a rain skill, which is beautiful. And it explodes instantly in that cloud, and it consumes the armor break so that they can continue ticking the poison and armor break again. And if you just keep spamming, boom, 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 you'll get like 100 explosions. It's disgusting. It's awesome. It's beautiful. We love it. And on Toxic Growth, we have rapid attacks. It's faster. Exploit weakness to consume the armor break so that we can create that chain explosion tech. Concentrate effect is like really important for the skill. It's like one of the most important things. You're going to want that like early game as soon as you can get it, because it causes them to group better, which helps with clear. Because otherwise you get this. Look how bad, like the spread is so big. And if you're trying to kill a rare, it'll just take a year to kill them. Versus this, if the rare's in the center of that, boom, they're getting hit by all those. That's way better. And then as soon as you can, this is like a high level skill gem. I think it's like 4, I believe. As soon as you can get this, 80% less detonation time. That's how long they take to detonate in the poison. 1, 2, 3, whatever, 3 seconds. With this, it's instant. Boom, instant. That's what you want. It does a little less damage, but honestly, like it's so much faster. You can't beat that. Poison burst arrow. We have concentrate effect, deadly poison, duration, deliberation. This is like the highest damage, highest duration setup you could possibly get. If we had an extra one here, there's a couple things we could put there for extra damage, but it does a ton of damage. And when you consume with the acidic concoction, with that little bug we mentioned earlier, it's insane. I really hope they don't nerf it this league, because I'm having a lot of fun with it. It'd be really nice if it went under their radar, because I'm sure not many people are playing this. So yeah, there's that. Wind Dancer, honestly, not necessary. It just feels good to push enemies off you. I'm not playing an evasion version, so I'm not getting the extra evasion from it, but pushes enemies off me, slows them, and also get a little bit of mana out of it. Why not? I had an extra spirit. Withering Presence is huge, though. Withered is crazy good. It increases the poison damage taken. It adds like a ton to our damage, and we're dealing mainly physical and chaos. All poison is chaos, so this just increases your chaos, your poison damage a ton. And we're also, I'll go over it later, we're using the Wither Away, so it adds an extra stack of Wither, and then also Withered effects. So Wither Magnitude, it increases how much the Withered is debuffing them. I believe I've gotten up to like a 60 or 70% Wither on enemies if they stay close enough and they're like not dying instantly. Despair, just reduces their resistance, all that good stuff. Reduce chaos resistance, again, increases our damage towards them on hit damage and also on the poison damage by a lot. We got Herald of Plague to spread the most damaging poison on an enemy you kill in a 1.8 meter radius. I don't know why you can't put area of effect supports on it. It annoys the crap out of me, but it hinders enemies too when it spreads the poison. And then we're also using contagious contamination, if I could say the word. to spread the most damaging poison an enemy is 1.5 meters, and then we also get this juicy 12% magnitude poison inflict there. Because we have two different sources of spread, it's so fast. You put this down, you kill two enemies, they spread two poisons to two enemies to two enemies to like two to two to two. It's just spreading poisons everywhere. It's awesome. It's beautiful. It's disgusting. Uh, Self-propagating poisons, explosions everywhere. Um, I've tried it with just one or the other. Like you can get away with just having the Ascendancy one or just having this. I like this because it slows them, and I don't have to like worry about dropping a Vine Arrow all the time because like this pretty reliably will slow enemies because it's spreading so many poisons so fast. And if you get quality on it, it has an even higher chance to slow them. So that's beautiful. And then once I got the extra spirit to run this, it's only like 60 spirit, and then if you have quality, you can get it down to like 50 something spirit to run Enfeeble. Enfeeble helps a ton. Uh, I think with the downside of what is it? Less curse effect, like 43% less curse effect. It still is like a 15% DR on pretty much every enemy, and on the weaker enemies it's higher. So it just helps against that chip damage because I don't have any armor, I don't have any evasion. It's just all ES. So it reduces the damage coming in, so I don't get spiked. And I try to avoid any maps that have like the crit, like crit, what do you call it, like increased crit chance or anything like that, because like damage spikes will nuke you. So I like this. It just helps with like okay, I'm taking damage. I know I'm taking damage. I'm not getting nuked like instantly, and then I can hit a potion and then boom, back to full dodge out of there. Bob's your uncle. So that's pretty much it for the skills. Um, Again, the bursting Fentoads, I don't know if I mentioned that yet. They trigger on kill, and I just have the same supports basically as Toxic Growth. You cannot get a level 20 skill, so I can't get the extra slot here, which is fine. But Bursting Plague, Escalating Toxins, Armor Explosion, Corrosion. So when I kill enemies with the Gas Arrow and Toxic Growth combo, then the toads start jumping in all different directions and exploding. So if the enemies didn't get hit by a chaining explosion from, let's say, Herald of Plague or uh, contagious contamination, if a poison doesn't chain to them, the freaking frog jumps on them and it blows up in their face, and then that chains from them. So it just adds chain distance, and they do a lot of damage. And when there's like 100 toads leaping at a rare, it nukes them. You know what I mean? That's like 10 toads jumping on you, and they're doing like 6-7k damage right now. That's insane. And then they're also poisoning. So that's really good. Now, to get into skill tree really quick, I don't want this to go on for like 10 years. I don't want this to be a 40-minute video. But we have a Concoction. Obviously, that's the first thing you're going to grab always because that really helps with like killing bosses early on. Then for the next thing you want to grab, if you don't have Herald of Plague, you might want to grab this for the spreading poisons. In the early game, I used Contagion actually to spread my poisons because I didn't have any way to spread poisons. So I'd shoot Poison Burst Arrow, hit him with Contagion, and it's kind of like the Contagion Essence Drain build, but like obviously you're using poison, so we're not using Essence Drain because where's the fun in that? And then after that, this is really good. I mean, you don't really need this to your running maps, but your speed is unaffected by slows. That means we're taking shield ground. We're taking temporal chains and we're eating it. It does nothing to us. We're not bothered by maim. We're not bothered by shield ground. We're not bothered by temp chains. We can play those maps. They're not going to get instantly thrown out. It like doubles the amount of maps that you can play because normally you see a temp chains map, you're deleting it. You're getting rid of it. You're throwing it out. But now we can play them. So that's awesome. And just like who doesn't love not being slowed? I'm basically unstoppable force just rolling through the map, shooting poisons. And then this is really important for survivability. Life flask effects are not removed when unreserved life is filled. Normally, if you get hurt, you pop a flask. As soon as your life is full, the flask effect ends. And then if you take more damage, it's not healing you anymore. You have to take another flask. You waste flasks. With this, if I take damage, I heal, and then it's like continuous recovery for that 3 seconds. So in a big group fight, I can every 3 seconds, if I time it right, I can continuously get the regen from my this, and 1800 divided by 3, it's around 600. I'm getting 600 regen permanently, pretty much, and I continuously get my flash charges back because of these. It's awesome. I wouldn't sleep on uh, this core here. Here, just, we took this path to get damage, 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 damage. Of course, we want more damage. These nodes are sick early on because you get damage and skill effect, which increases that's a double increase on our poison burst arrow. Here, we just took area effect because it's like the only way to get area effect on this side of the tree right now. Um, Here, projectile speed, attack speed, accuracy, and here we got poisons. We do have those on weapon set 1 because we only need them for our bow. Weapon set 2 is just, our acidic concoction. So anything weapon set 2 related, we just got attack speed for the most part, and flask charge stuff to like reduce flask charges consumed, etc. So we can spam more acidic concoction when needed. Same here, like anything bow related, I just put on weapon set 1. And then here, skill speed, move speed, huge. Feels really good. I don't even have good jewels right now. Like I just have like random jewels like that have a little bit of like poison magnitude, a little bit of a little bit of poison duration, nothing too crazy. Little bit of mana on kill. Like honestly, like I could use more, but it's fine. You kill so much stuff, you get the mana back. And up here again, more poison duration, magnitude. This is nice early game to get that maximum, like get the life on kill, but because I'm mainly using energy shield as my thing, that doesn't really matter anymore. It's just for the poison magnitude. Here we have gain 8% of damage as extra physical damage. This is a huge increase to our damage. And it also adds 15 increased effect of fully broken armor, which means that, let's see here. So fully broken armor take 20% increased physical damage from hits, so they take even more physical damage from hits. And because a lot of our hits are either physical or chaos, this is huge. So we're breaking armor faster and dealing more damage to enemies with armor break, so that just helps with the clear a lot. It's only 4 nodes there. Go up here, movement speed, projectile speed, damage, all good stuff. Nothing too revolutionary. And this is up here, extra chaos damage, so that's 11% from this. We got 40% from this. That's 50% of our damage is on top is chaos, which is huge for the poison. Extra chaos damage, extra effect of withered. We talked about that. Here, skill effect duration increases the duration of poison burst arrow, which increases our total damage, which increases the acidic burst. Extra energy shield. Here, no brainer. Whispers of Doom just allows me to have Enfeeble and Despair on the boss, so they don't like, just in case they get a move off before I one-shot them, they don't kill me. And I can also apply Despair to them. Here, extra energy shield converts 5% of life. We don't really care, or we're not using the life. And I'll have a full build guide available in the description if you want, on Max Roll, if you want to check that out. I'm thinking about going here, grabbing these to get extra recoup for extra survivability, and then going up here, getting a +1 levels to all my skills pretty much, because they're all chaos skills. So, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I think I'm like level 90 right now, or 89, so I'm almost, almost there. The end is a slog, but that is it. And then yeah, I mean, I might come over here, get this jewel socket. I might stand over here to get this jewel socket. I'm not really sure, but like I said, it's like clearing tier 15 content, clearing endgame bosses very easily. And even before I spent I spent 1 div on this, and I spent like I think 1 or 2 div on this. Total investment under 5 div for this whole thing, and I was clearing like tier 10 super easily with like a bow that I found in the campaign. And then to jump from tier 10 to tier 15, I spent like 1 div on this. I felt like I didn't have enough energy shield, so I spent 2 div on this, and then all of a sudden I was just clearing like tier 15 and up, no problem, and probably gonna start going in tier 16 soon. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the build, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and have a nice day.